Retirement may seem like a long way off for some, and for others, it may be a little bit closer. Either way, if you push off this topic, you may make a serious mistake. Knowing common pitfalls before you jump into retirement could help you long term. We are talking dollars and cents with Colin Evans from Evans Financial Group. Colin, how can we think ahead to avoid some of these missteps?
Let's start at number one.
Number one, let's go.
Make a plan.
I knew you were going to say something.
Well, you
like
got to think, sometimes if you ever like book a cruise or book a vacation, the amount of time that we spend to look at like every little detail of what we're going to do, and more people have come to find out more people spend more time planning their vacation than they actually do their retirement time.
Oh wow, that's awful.
So as we kind of do that, living, let's do the un-American thing and live under your means. Like, not spending on those credit cards. We just did the credit card thing a couple weeks ago. Health is one that's not always taken into consideration. You got to think, as we get older, we're living longer, we're taking better care of ourselves, and in those golden years, you got to plan for a stretch of health care. A good rule of thumb, and we've always said it's in the past, is about 3 years of income is a kind of a rule of thumb of what your health care is going to cost you throughout your entire retirement time.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
It's crazy. This last year on bullet point number 4, we actually hit it hard this past year, and that was where everybody got to feel it, and that was our friend inflation. I wouldn't say any of our friends. We saw it at the gas pumps. We saw it at the grocery store.
We just learned to live with it.
It's tough. Well, you got to think, when you're getting ready to go into retirement time, that's 40 hours of a work week. Now you got 40 hours that you get to spend money. So you got a vacation coming every single week, and understanding that and thinking, wait, am I living longer? I've got that. Remember, we did one of our segments with running out of money, and that being a gigantic concern.
Oh yeah, hot one for sure.
It's a big time one. So it's inflation and healthcare seems to be like the really two buggers that come right after that. Just some things that we want to give to people, and like, hey, this is where you need to pay attention, and write it down. Write it down.
Writing it down.
Have a plan. Have a plan. Have a plan. Can't stress that part enough.
What about a backup plan? Do you think we should have backup plans to those, or no?
I mean, Navy SEALs say 1 is none and 2 is 1, so they always have a backup plan.
I mean, like 3.
Right.
And inflation. For sure.
It is. It hit us last year pretty hard. Because as I said, we saw it in the grocery store. We saw it. The funny joke that were going around, I guess, from financial advising world was, hey, I'm going into retirement, but you're seeing carrying cases of eggs because the cost of produce is going through the roof. It's like, this is my retirement plan right here. 6 dozen eggs. You're going to use that for currency.
Yeah, and that is just so crazy. What about, Colin, with people going into retirement housing wise? Should you have already bought a house at that point? Should you be selling? Should you have paid off your house? Like, what does that look on that line? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. We didn't talk about this before.
A lot of people that go into retirement typically do have their homes paid for.
So that's a goal.
It is, because you're trying to eat away, you want to get rid of whatever bills are out there, because now I've got an income coming in that's now fixed. But if it's, there's one thing that we talk about with debt, and if you actually have it in the bank account and you can write a check, are you really in debt? It's still a comforting factor. Like, it would be a comforting factor for me. Well, I don't really necessarily have to sell, have my house completely paid for.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Colin, for being here today and sharing those pitfalls for us and what to avoid before going into retirement.
Write it down.
Write it down. That's the biggest takeaway.
Write it down.
Absolutely.